Is Europe's crackdown on misinformation paving the way for state censorship? Since the Israeli-Hamas war began a little over a week ago, misinformation about the conflict has spread rapidly online. Regulators have responded by sending a slew of letters to Meta, X, TikTok, and YouTube, telling them that they have seen this misinformation and that their companies are legally required to do something about it. That's because in August, a new European law called the Digital Services Act went into effect. It imposes a bunch of new content moderation requirements on very large online platforms. That includes the requirement that they remove illegal content, but also that they mitigate the risks of content that is lawful but awful. The problem with the letters going around to these big tech companies is experts say this kind of public pressure campaign is not at all how the Digital Services Act is supposed to work. While the law was being written, there were lots of people who were pretty afraid that the DSA was going to be used as a tool for state censorship. They worried about what would happen if regulators came along and started pressuring tech companies to take down posts that the government didn't like. You know, kind of like what the government's doing with these letters. So rather than focusing on what type of speech is prohibited, the law requires that platforms have systems and processes in place to mitigate the risks of all kinds of legal but harmful speech. In other words, different platforms can mitigate those risks in different ways as long as they can show their work. But now it looks like the European Commission is taking things a step farther by implying that the existence of misinformation could be a violation all on its own. Now, the commissioner who sent these letters has said that his goal is to protect both freedom of expression and democracy, and he did stop short of telling these platforms to get rid of any posts in particular. But experts on the DSA, like Daphne Keller of Stanford's Cyber Policy Center, told me it's not hard to read between the lines. She said it looks like the commission is assuming exactly the kind of state censorship authority that critics of the DSA feared. So what do you think? Is the European Commission in the right, or just using this crisis to score political points? Thanks for watching Fast News. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.